What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists out there, and welcome to another Topical Tuesday, the series where I take a topic and dissect it a little bit and just talk about it. Now, I've even got a cup of coffee with me for this one, which I may have to edit out just in case. This was kind of a topic I was skirting around a little bit because I wasn't sure the best angle to approach it on. Basically, what it boils down to, I've thought about this and thought about this and thought about this. What it basically boils down to is a question that I ask myself a lot, and I wonder if other people do, and that is, what is it about wargaming that we love so much? Why do we love to war game? Now, war game. I've played, I mean, we all love war games. I'm guessing, otherwise you wouldn't be here now watching this video, right? But when I think about it, I've played war games all my entire life. I go back to my primary school days when we used to play games of war in the school playground or on the field or wherever. And how it would start off was like I or someone else would come up to me, or one boy would go up to another boy and say, "Do you fancy getting a game of war together?" And because war was a popular game, it'd be like, "Yeah, cool." And how we did this, it was like an unspoken thing, but we just did it. We'd link arms, then we'd walk around, we'd wander around the school playground or field going, "All in for war, all in for war." We'd repeat this chant over and over again, and then the more people would go and link arms, and in the end there'd be this big line of us wandering around the playground going, "All in for war." And when we felt we'd got enough people, enough for like two decent-sized armies, as it were, we'd split off and go, "Right, you're going to be Germans, you're going to be British, and we're going to fight, whatever. Okay, we're going to defend that ridge over there, and that's our headquarters, and you've got to try and capture it." Whatever the game was. I can't remember exactly how it was worked out, but that is my earliest memory of wargaming. Well, what is it about wargaming? A game where we try and kill each other. I've got to ask myself this, and I love wargaming, but I have to ask the question, what is it about wargaming that's so appealing? Now, another reason for my touching on this topic is my recent re-interest in like World War II wargaming, particularly with the Flames of War game, which I've recently picked up. That game there. I got myself the Fury starter box set, and yeah, so and I'm very glad I did. But it has started to conjure up some thoughts within me, like, because as a historical war game, and I know there are a lot of historical war games out there that enjoy historical wargaming, and I agree. I find them enjoyable too. But, and I use the word "but" hesitantly. I'll say this because I started, with the tabletop wargaming with 40k, Warhammer 40k, and it's pitched as the grim, dark future. And when you read about the lore of Warhammer 40k and start immersing yourself, and you realise quickly, oh my goodness, this really is grim, dark. But then, someone like myself gets into a historical war game, and in my case, Second World War. Start researching that. And my immediate reaction was, my goodness, I thought 40k was grim, dark. Wow, it's got nothing on the realities of war. When I look at, how many people lost their lives in Stalingrad over that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And some of the atrocities of warfare, it blew my mind. And I'm thinking, wow, it's got the fictional has got nothing on the reality. And yet here I sit with my little men I'm painting up, and I'm enjoying painting them. I really am. I can't wait to get them on the board, on the table. Ready for a game of war. Another thing it conjures up in my mind, and I've got to get these thoughts out there, by the way. It's just something I've got to do for good, for better or worse. A thought occurs, how far, in terms of how much time needs to elapse before it's okay to wargame that particular period in history? If you are an historical wargamer, and I know there's, you know, the sensible, and I want this to be a sensible and mature debate, because, you know, people out there going, well, it's just a game, man. You know, it's just a game. Get over yourself. It's a game. I know it's a game, but obviously something within me is like, yeah, but it's a bit crazy. But I enjoy it, and so I don't know if it does raise any real, you know, moral issues, or I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be a fan of recreating actual battles. I think I'll be more a fan of, you know, make-believe battles, but I don't know, you know. But that's just the way I'm thinking right now. Let's take this like another example. Let's take ancients or Romans. You know, go right back to like Romans fighting the Gauls of France, say, for instance. And we could do that, you know, with their swords and spears and whatever they use, and we can put that on our tabletop and play a game out of that, and that's, you know, that's okay. Second World War is a little bit closer to home. American Civil War, even. Say in real life, the country you're in, you know, erupted into a civil war. Now, here today, you know, and the war lasted a year, I don't know, or 5 years, or however long it lasts. How do you feel about playing a game based on that, like a month later? You wouldn't want it, would you? I mean, you wouldn't. 100 years later, different story. 500 years later, you know, I mean, how much time needs to elapse before it is deemed okay? I don't know. But I'm just fascinated, and the topic of this video, what fascinates me is what is it about wargaming? Fighting in general. I mean, fighting games. I've always loved fighting video games, like Street Fighter, all that kind of thing. What is it about, you know, pummeling someone else that's so enjoyable? I don't know. Part of it, I'll be honest, part of it is the models, the miniatures. I love that aspect of it. I think it's brilliant. I love to see it. Another part of it I love is the dice, actual rolling it and knowing that that's going to affect what I see on the tabletop and doing that. But I just find it a fascinating subject. I hope you agree, and I'd like to know your thoughts on it. What is it about wargaming that we find so appealing? I mean, I don't know, because I love wargaming. I think it's brilliant. It's later in the day now, but I'm sat here in my studio amongst my Flames of War American squad, and I just want to finish painting them. I want to crack on and, you know, get them based and ready to go. But yeah, I find it a fascinating subject. Like I say, when I was a kid, we used to play war, and I used to go around my friend's house. He had an amazing collection of toy soldiers. He had Germans galore and Americans galore. He had some British as well, but it was mostly Americans and Germans that he had. And we had some amazing games that, you know, using marbles and, you know, bits of string for line of sight, and, you know, you can't fire that, yes you can, and we'd get down at eye level and we'd make up our own rules, and it was really quite awesome. I have very fond memories of those games, and in particular because that friend of mine has long since passed away now. He died when he was like young, which is a great shame. But the memories I have of him playing war in his like bedroom or living room or wherever we used to play it, mostly in his bedroom, I think, conjures up, you know, good memories for me. And I've done, going into like role playing, some of the role playing games I've partaken in have involved mass scale battles. One in particular was a Star Wars role playing game, which I played a long time ago now, and it was recreating the Battle of Hoth from the movie The Empire Strikes Back. And, you know, we got out loads of little miniatures to represent, you know, the stormtroopers and the AT-AT walkers, and I think he had a couple of Star Wars miniatures, but majority of it was just made up with whatever he had. You know, and we used our imaginations, and we had a blast, absolute blast. It was good, really good fun. But visualize, I suppose that was one of the first times I'd experienced a mass tabletop war, you know, but it was in a role-playing game, so slightly different. But yeah, what is it about war games that we as hobbyists find so fascinating? I think a large part of it is the miniatures, and I like to think of it like these miniatures I have here. I personally, and this is a personal thing, so subjective thinking here, I like to think of it, and I would like to continue to think of it more as a homage to the brave souls that fought these wars, and, you know, the hardships they went through during that time with the equipment, the tanks and the weapons that they had. It's very scary stuff, very, very scary. I can't imagine it, you know. I'm just so glad reading through it. By the way, if you can hear my dogs barking, I do apologise. I'm so glad that I haven't had to live through a war, and I'm not living through one at the moment, as in terms of like bombs dropping from the sky and bullets being fired at me, that kind of war. So, and I hope, you know, I really hope I never have to. I hope no one ever has to again. But yeah, war seems to be the one constant throughout history that, you know, you can rely on, that, you know, has always been. Wherever you have people, you have conflict, and, you know, but history, and it's historical, and history kind of repeats itself over and over, just with greater technologies. So yeah, sorry I've gone on a bit on this video, nearly up at 15 minutes here now. I'm very sorry about that. They aren't intended to be too long, these videos, but this subject I find absolutely fascinating. I love wargaming, but what is it about it I love? I think it's the miniatures, I think it's the rolling of dice, and you know, having a good time in that way. I don't know, I think this is a topic best suited to some sort of psychologist or someone that has studied the human psyche that could better dissect it. Someone far more qualified than myself. But I wonder about it, and I wonder also, am I alone in this? Do any of you wonder about it too? Do you think about it? Let me know below. Like I say, this video is intended to be a mature and adult conversation about a topic I find fascinating. You know, just drop your comments down below and let me know your thoughts. I'd be fascinated to read them. Anyway, that's it for me for this week. It's Topical Tuesday. I'll see you on the next one. Until next time, remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.